Hi, I'm Heather from Heather Handmade, and today I'm really excited to share this ghost pillow with you. It has a pom-pom edge all the way around, and it has a cute little face. The great thing about this pillow is I have a free pattern that you can download from my blog. Just follow the link in the description. This is a really cute decoration to sew for Halloween. It's super fun. You can leave the pom-pom trim off if you want. There's a lot of fun curves and details to this cute little ghost. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need a yard of white quilting cotton. The thicker the fabric, the better, because it will help make it not so transparent. White fabric has a tendency to be a little transparent. You're going to need 2.5 yards of pom-pom trim, and then you are going to need the free ghost pattern, which you can find the link in the description. It's a free pattern on my blog. You will also need a scrap of black felt. You will also need a bunch of polyfill or stuffing. I have a giant box of it that I use, so it's a little hard to show you in this video. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to cut out 2 of the ghost pieces. So I'm opening my fabric up. And if you are using fabric that has a print on one side, you're going to want to make sure that your fabric is facing wrong sides together, because you need to have 2 ghost pieces cut, but they need to be mirrored. Since I'm using white fabric that is the same on both sides, I'm not as worried about it. And then you're going to cut it out. Now, to cut the felt out of felt, what I like to do is I like to use a double-sided adhesive. So it has a paper backing, and then you can feel the fusible adhesive on the other side. So I trace the shape. So this is the mouth, and then I do the eyes. Then I cut this out. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to fuse this to the felt, and then I will cut out these shapes. It's a little easier to work with the felt when it's stabilized with a little bit of paper. Now I can cut out these face pieces. Now I can peel off this paper backing. So now I'm going to place the face pieces on. You can use the marks to place it if you want, or you can put it wherever you want. I'm actually going to put it a little bit higher like this, and then fuse it in place. Now you're going to sew with black thread, and you're going to sew around each of these face shapes just to secure it and make sure it doesn't come off. I only bought 2 yards of this pom-pom trim because I don't want my pom-pom trim to go along the bottom of the ghost. So mine won't go here, but that is just fine if that's what you That's why I recommended getting 2.5 so that you could do the full bottom. So what you're gonna do is we are gonna clip the trim to all the way around the ghost. And when you clip it on, we're not clipping it like this to go towards the outside. Since we're going to turn it right side out eventually, we are going to be clipping it on with the pom-poms going to the middle of the ghost. I'm going to clip this on just like that, and then we're going to make it go all the way around. And you're going to have to be careful and make the trim go around all of the corners. Now you are going to baste this trim in place, and I'm going to baste close to this edge of my stitching because when I go back and sew it, I want to know that I'm going to cover this whole trim. And so if I put my basting stitch close to this, I know that my stitch that will go all the way around the pillow in the end will need to be slightly farther in, and then I will have it in the right place. Remember when you sew that you want these raw edges to go into the seam allowance to end. So that's why this comes off here on the end, and same with this one. Then you're going to take your other piece, your back piece, and you're going to place it right sides together with your front piece. We're going to pin around all the edges and then sew the two pieces together. Remember to leave like a 4-inch hole to turn the pillow right side out. So I'm going to leave a hole down here at the bottom. I would recommend leaving a hole at the straightest edge that you can find. So now I'm going to sew all the way around the ghost and leave a hole. And if I sew with the basting stitches, if I can see them, then I know that I need to sew, about 1/8 of an inch inside of the basting stitches to cover up the edge of the trim. I've sewn all the way around, and now I'm going to clip and trim the edges. So one thing you want to know is you really don't want to sew through, or you don't want to cut through the trim, because if you cut in the wrong place, it could make the pom-poms be able to be pulled out. So I am going to clip and notch, but I'm only going to do it to the fabric and not to the trim. It's not going to be as clean since I'm not cutting through the trim, but I don't want to lose any pom-poms. Now that you have clipped and notched, you can turn the pillow right side out and poke out those curves. Now grab your stuffing, your polyfill, and we are going to fill up the ghost. So on these small parts like the hands, the tail, and like at the head, you just grab a tiny piece of stuffing and then you go put it in that specific spot. And you might have to do that a couple of times, because if you just put in a big piece, it will be too big and it will not fit in to those small areas. Once you have the ghost all stuffed, and you want to stuff it enough so it's not like floppy, and then you just have this hole at the bottom, so you're going to use a hand needle and thread and just do a ladder stitch and close up this hole. And that's how you sew a DIY ghost pillow with fabric and pom-pom trim. I can't wait to see all of the ghost pillows that you make. Please share them with me on social media. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day.